Mike and Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Prism by Cornhole. I reviewed the Prism quite a while ago. In fact, when I reviewed them at a time, they weren't even ACL stamped. So I thought it was a good time to re-review them now. They have the ACL stamp on there, and I've also had some questions about the different weight versions. Logic offers these bags in the L, R, and H versions, so I've got a mixed set here. Thought I'd talk to you about, re-review the bags, kind of break them down for you again, and then talk to you about the different variations and maybe help you choose which set would be right for you and your style of play. Let's go and dive in. Let's break these prisms down. As always, I'll start with materials. Slow side material. This is the same slow side. It's a hybrid material. Same slow side you find on the Viper R, AAR Ripper, Reynolds Thunder, the Killer Bees Armite, the True Cornhole Aftershock. It's about a 5.5 speed. It plays 6, maybe 6.5 speed when it's brand new. Once you break it in, it softens up, starts to kind of fuzz up a little bit. It gets down to about a 5.5 speed. Plays right there. It's a little quick. It's on the quicker side of hybrid materials. It's very hole friendly for the control you get with it. It plays pretty consistent in most all weather conditions. So if you live in an area where humidity is an issue, this material is great because it plays about the same humidity as it does on dry boards. 5.5 speed for the slow side. Fast side, this is that Viper Pro Sniper fast side. It's a 9 speed. It's fast. It's great for collecting bags, pushing through blocks, blowing up piles, cleaning up messes, slides to the board in most any conditions. So we're looking at about a 5.5 and 9 speed for these prisms. Exact same material combination that you find in the Viper R, the AAR Ripper, or the Reynolds Thunder, or the Killer Bees Armite. The exact same two materials there. So for those bags, that's what you got here. Template-wise, it's a medium template bag. Feel-wise, this right here I'm talking about is the R version, which is the regular version. So this one's got it's a medium and a feel. It's maybe slightly on the fuller side of medium. So this bag has a little less flop than I would say a normal bag, quote unquote normal bag would be. So this is on the fuller side. If you like fuller bags, I think you're really going to love these R versions. The fill in here it's a blend of flat fill. I don't feel any round beads in here at all, but I feel like a couple different types of flat fill. So it's definitely a blend of flat fill, which gives the bag an absolute ton of forgiveness. It gives the bag a wonderful hand feel. Flat fill feels great in the hands. It's very smooth and fluid. Like I said, you have forgiveness here, which if you have a fuller bag, you really do need more of a flat, forgiving fill. Fuller bags tend to want to kick and bounce more. With this fill, it's forgiving enough that if you don't throw a flat bag, it's not going to have that punishing kick to you. It doesn't have a lot of balance. It kind of lands smoother and softer. If you're a player who doesn't like those loose, floppy bags, but you don't throw flat and you need a forgiving bag, I think this Prism would be a great option for you. Both materials are very hole friendly as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. These bags are ACL stamped, which again is one of the changes from the last time I reviewed it. So they are ACL stamped. If you're playing the ACL, you can definitely throw these Prisms. Let's go and dive in, talk about playability, and then I'll talk a little more about the differences in the L and H versions to the R's. It's a versatile bag. That's the beauty of these hybrid materials, and this material is no exception to that. It's very versatile. So I think it's better suited for the player who likes to get up there and run bags in the hole. I find this plays a little faster than some of your other hybrid materials. So if you like to get up there and just run bags in the hole, put your 4 bags in, outscore your opponent, that's where I think this bag really shines. It's also great if you play on slower boards. If you do have slower boards, this material does, because it does play a little faster, it'll move a little better. But you do have the control here on normal boards that you can throw a blocker. If you want to throw a blocker up there, you've got the control here to put a blocker up there. And because the bags are on the fuller side, very easy to collect. They don't, floppy bags, I always talk about, they tend to smash up, accordion up. But because you have these bags on the fuller side, when you're clipping them, you flip a corner and you can push it up and take them in. So very collectible, which makes them great for putting that blocker like a little bit more on your opponent's side, knowing that when it comes time to collect it, you can go slick side with your last bag and you just come in the middle, clip it and take it in. And because these bags are on the fuller side too, easier for shot shaping. I find fuller bags are better for cuts, rolls, and flops. Even though it has a forgiving, less active fill inside of here, I didn't really have an issue with cuts. And I think it's definitely a bag that you can roll and flop. That's not something I do, but I think it's really a bag that you can have success rolling and flopping with it. It's not making those really harsh, aggressive cuts that I would get with a stickier, bouncier type bag. But it's enough of a cut that if my opponent throws a blocker up there, I've got options to get around their bag if I want to. Instead of having to just push your air rail over, I can step out, throw a cut, get around there really well. The versatility is there in this bag, and it does give you a ton of options. And I talk all the time how I love bags that give you options, because I like to get up there each throw and around and know that I have multiple ways to get my bag in the hole and get around my opponent's blocker, or find ways to score and leave my opponent's bags hanging out there, or even bully them out of the way. And anytime I can get a bag that gives me multiple options, it makes it tougher for my opponent to know what my next move is. So it makes it harder for them to counter it or to play defensively and try to stop me. And a bag like these Prisms do a really good job. They give you tons of options that you have multiple ways to put your bags in the hole. They're also really good bags, I think, for blind draws. because the speeds here, the 5.5, 9 speed, they're kind of that right down the middle road. Most players are going to be okay with them. If someone likes to run bags in the hole, if this material's fast enough, they can definitely do it. So you get a faster bag thrower. They're going to look at this and probably think it's carpet and be afraid to throw it. But once you let them throw it a few times, I think they're going to fall in love with it and have no problem with it. And it's still a bag that if you like to play a slower game, you can still play your dirty style game while they're running bags in the hole. You can both do opposite style games and get away with it really well. Now, as far as the differences in the L and H's, the R's, I talk about the R's and what they are. The H is just a fuller bag. But the difference between L's and H is L is light, H is heavy. But really, it's the L has less fill, the H has more fill. So they're taking the same bag, they're adding more fill to get to the H, which gives you a little bit heavier bag, a slightly fuller bag. Now, weight-wise, honestly, when you pick these bags up, there's no noticeable difference in weight. I couldn't tell you if I didn't have the designation, the R up there or the H up here, I couldn't tell you which bag is heavier and tell you which one's the HR. I really don't feel like you're talking like a few tenths, I think it's like 3/10 of an ounce, I don't know, 6 or 7 grams maybe. It's not a big difference in weight. But what I do feel when I grab these bags is the fullness. You notice that the H is a fuller bag. So if you really like full bags, you like a bag that has very little flop to it, you're going to love this H bag. You definitely want to go for that because it's definitely on that fuller side. It gives you just a ton of fill to grab a hold of, so the hand feel is great. I mean, full bags are awesome for hand feel because when you grab them, you grip them, you lock them down, they're not moving. I have complete control of this bag. It has a lot of bag to grab a hold of. So if you want the fuller bag, go with the H. If you like a little bit looser bag, maybe a little floppier bag, that's where the L comes in. This is the lighter bag. Again, not going to tell a difference in the weight, but the flop. This bag has got more flop to it, as you can see that right there. I don't know if I can get this bag up here to show you this. So this is the L. If I get this out, this is the R, this is the L, if you can really tell. But this has got, definitely the L has more flop to it. A little looser, less fill, so it gives you a little more flop. This is still by no means, I wouldn't call this a floppy bag. To me, this L version of Prism is probably more like a normal flop bag. I think the R is a little bit on the fuller side, and the H is definitely probably one of the fullest bags that you'll get out there. And just to show you here, so here's the R. See if I can get the H here for you. You're not going to see a huge difference in flop between the R and the H as much as if you notice on the sides here how much puffier this H version is than the R because it's just got more fill there. So hopefully I'll give you an idea of what's going on with it. But for me, for playability wise, I think if you like to play more of that shot shaping, cuts, rolls, flops, I think you're going to want that fuller, either the R or the H. I think they're better suited for that. If you want a bag that's a little more forgiving, maybe, again, if you don't throw flat, a floppier bag is more forgiving. That's where I think the L comes in. It's going to give you a little more of that forgiveness on the landing. Plus, it gives you more of that forgiveness around the hole. When I talk about the floppo bags and talk about the landing zone, a floppier bag does a better job because that corner dips in quicker. So if you miss off the side, you get the corner to dip in, it'll pull it, bring the bag back in. So an L bag's going to be more forgiving around the hole, kind of make up for your mistakes. Where you get an R bag, you get less of that dip, so you don't get as much of that dip, and then you get to this H bag, and that bag doesn't really dip in at all. And that's kind of the difference. So you're going to get more forgiveness with that L looser, lighter bag than you will with the R or the H. You're going to get a better hand feel with the R and the H bag. You're going to get more action, I think, more of that shot shaping. Easier bag to collect with the H2 because, again, it's just not going to collapse up, so you can just clip a corner and take it in. So that's the differences. If you don't know which one you're like, you're not sure, go with the R. The R's kind of right in the middle. I think you'll be happy with the R. And then once you get that, you may decide, you know what, I want a bag a little fuller, a little looser. Then you can choose to the H to L from that. So hopefully that clarifies it up for you guys. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. I'll be happy to clarify anything else that maybe I didn't touch on. Let's go ahead and leads me into availability. And Logic has a website, logiccornhole.com. As always, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. These bags are $89.99, $90. It was $6.95 shipping, so about $7. So just under $97 shipped to you. However, Logic did give me a discount code to share with you guys, Mike's Bags. If you use that code when you check out, it'll save you like 10% off. So it'll drop you down to right about $88, I think it is. So it's $97 out of the code. It'll be $88 shipped to you with the code. So definitely put that in there. The $88 price point is that low to mid price point for ACL stamp bags. It's really a great price for an ACL stamp bag. Definitely getting your money's worth, high quality bag at that. So definitely check them out. If you've thrown these Prisms, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, what you like, what you don't like. And if you've thrown the difference, the L's, the R's, the H's, I'd love to know which one do you prefer and why. Drop that comment down below. I'd love for you to share that information with me and some of the other viewers out there as well. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.